Good morning. Really watching the tape about what we thought. I was really pleased with the effort of our guys. Thought we played extremely hard. Got it to the, made a 6-point game in the fourth quarter, and kind of what we had talked about. Wanted to make sure, when we got in the second half, fourth quarter, that we were right there and having a chance to win. Just didn't make enough plays toward the end, really, to win it when you look at it. I think Memphis has a good team, both sides of the football. Defensively for us, we have to continue to try to get better. We did have some stops in the second half. Created a couple of turnovers, which was good. But, we're still I think we're playing hard. We're just still making mistakes. Offensively, we I think the biggest thing is we didn't cash in on the turnover in the right there in the fourth quarter, which I thought was big. But, again, though, we still got the ball back at, I think, our own 7 or 8 and went down and scored to get it to a 6-point game. But, the 580 yards was, way more than double what they've been giving up all year. So was pleased with that. We're pleased with the balance. We could, we both ran it and threw it and kind of controlled the game. So special teams-wise, there were 2 critical mistakes on our part. I'll give them credit for one of them, although it's a mistake for us. I thought the middle bunt kick was executed perfectly by their guys, by their kicker. And we'll have to be more conscious of that. That's the first time we've seen that in a couple of years. And then we didn't field a punt, which I thought was a pretty critical mistake. However, we did take it down and score on that drive. But, all in all, a disappointing loss. But, again, I thought the effort was good. I thought our kids played as hard as we can ask them to play and competed, and certainly had a chance to win the game. Just didn't get it done. This is a tough challenge this week. Number one, Texas State, because they have a good team. Number two, it's a short week for us. It's something that we haven't gone through here. I've never went through as a head coach, to be honest with you. I've played Thursday nights, but they've always been the first game of the year. And it's, a challenge in a sense, too, that, they actually had the week off before we playing. So I think that's interesting, too, from a scheduling standpoint. But anyway, it's a short week for us. Playing a Texas State team offensively, they've changed, which we knew they would with Coach Spavital and stuff, and Jensen's throwing the ball good. They have a receiver in Hutch White that's already has 31 catches for the year, which is really impressive. The 2 running backs that they have, Twalford and Taylor, they're rotating them in, and I think they're good players as well. So what they're doing offensively, they're doing really well. It's not stuff that we haven't seen. It's a lot of 11 personnel type stuff and a lot of window dressing motions to run the same plays, a lot of the stuff that we do. So I don't think that's going to necessarily be a mystery in terms of exactly, their alignments and stuff, but they are executing really good. Defensively, they have a lot of guys returning last year, which, we thought they had one of the better defenses in the league last year, and they're certainly playing good again. And really, all their players we think are good players, but that linebacking crew now, this is, I guess, the 3rd year that they've all been together, and starting with Brian London. I don't know. I haven't did it, but I wanted to go back over the last 3 years and see how many tackles actually when you put the 3 years. I remember he had like 19 one of the years, but he's been really good against us, a really good football player. He already has 48 tackles, 4 tackles for loss and a sack. Nick Daniels is his counterpart on the inside. He already has 40 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. And then Frankie Griffin is the guy that can play in or out. He's kind of, we call our buck safety or whatever, but he has the size to play as a linebacker and stuff. So, good team. I think they're, when you look at them, they beat Georgia State at home. They beat Nichols. And their losses have been to Texas A&M, Wyoming in a really close game, and then SMU. So, tough challenge. We actually went out and practiced last night, and I think we have a chance possibly to get Chase Day back. I think we have a chance possibly to get Brandius Baptiste back. They both moved around out there last night, and based off of what we could see, certainly have a chance. And really coming out of the game, I don't necessarily think that, that we lost anybody. We had some guys that bumps and bruises and stuff like that. We had guys that on the offensive line, quarterback, that actually took 92 snaps the other night and are going to turn around and play again here, pretty shortly. So anyway, watching them and stuff, some general soreness and stuff, but I don't think anything, at least knock on wood right now, anything that will keep them out. But anyway, we'll have to see. Questions?
Hey, Coach, I know there are no moral victories, but the fact you guys had 500-plus yards against the Memphis defense and only averaged like 260 a game, is that kind of refreshing to see within itself offensively?
Like I said, look, we did some good things, and it's not about total yards; it's about winning. But no, we definitely did some good things offensively, and so hopefully we can take that and move it forward. And some of the things that we did. I mean, I think Josh Johnson's playing at a high level, really high level, and I thought you look at what Caleb did the other night when you put the rushing yards and the passing yards together. Josh Peterson, Marquise. I mean, and then we actually too, which I think Adam pointed out in the post game the other day. We moved guys. I mean, we had guys playing in different spots, and sometimes it's a big deal. Sometimes it's not, depending on the experience and stuff. But I think it's a pretty big deal, like Eastwood Thomas did, to go to left tackle. Those guys make a lot of money in the NFL, for a reason. And for him to go to the right, which he's basically played for 3 years here, and move to left tackle, and I thought held up really good. And Trace moved inside the guard, which I don't think that's that big a deal. Same side, and he's done it before. Brandon moved to right, and then we thought that Sam Williams came in and had a solid game too, and because they're good up front. And so, yeah, when you look at it that way, Chris, I mean, yeah, there is some positives to take forward. I mean, to move forward, but nothing like winning. So.
Looking at it too, I got the sense from talking to some of the players after the game, it seems like even after a loss, there's a sense of optimism among those guys because it's Sunbelt the rest of the way, and those are teams you guys know you can compete in. You kind of get that sense from the guys as you move forward, try to make a run at this thing.
Yeah, no question. I mean, and that's I've always said that, and that even goes back to my Southland days. When you look at non-conference, and there are two factors I think coming out of non-conference games. I've always looked at who's the healthiest and who still has confidence. Because I mean you can get beat down, and you can lose confidence, you can lose some stuff, and that's what we're trying to make sure that our guys, hey, we had an opportunity, a pretty good opportunity to win 2 of the 3. We were kind of right there, and we didn't get either one of them done. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're all pretty good football teams. 2 of them are Power 5 teams, and then Memphis, I think everybody agrees, is one of the top Group of 5 teams. So we lost to good teams. Certainly we had a chance to win. That's disappointing, but let's don't lose confidence in what we're doing. I mean, let's don't lose the fact that everything basically which I talked to him yesterday, everything that we want to try to accomplish is still ahead of us. So let's look forward, and hopefully we'll do that.
What was said after the game about the 10-plus penalties you guys had in contest on Saturday?
Just pointed out to him again, that's 2 weeks in a row, which is not good. But it seemed like this week was different penalties. When you look at it, it's a couple of them that are unexplainable. Like we don't teach wedges anymore, and we got called for wedge. And if you look at it on tape, the way we thought they were kicking the ball there, they kicked it there. One kid made a mistake, kind of ran the wrong way, and they ran into each other and stopped. And when he said that, it's the right call, by the way. I mean, I'm on the rules committee. 2 people come together, that's called a wedge. And but that's something we don't teach anymore. We don't teach guys to form a wedge, and they end up running into each other and actually position themselves next to each other, which by definition, that is definitely a wedge. But like I said, this group of, all of a sudden we got hands to the face on offense and on defense. That's the first time this year that we've had that penalty called. And but we'll try to address them and move forward. But like I said, when I broke all the penalties down and then look back at last week, penalties are bad either way. But we got to address, because these were different penalties when you look at it.
To piggyback off that, then obviously, when you look at the penalties, that it's not how you don't teach them to do these things, but I mean, it's been a problem the past 2 weeks. So how do you go about addressing that?
Just try to address what they did wrong, and point out this is why you got it called, and this is what you have to do to correct it. That's all you can do, and and then move forward.
You referenced a minute ago the fact that they were off and you guys got a short week. Does that put you up against the 8 ball, and should you say something to the conference about that, or anything?
No, it is what it is. I mean, we got to play, and we have to get our guys ready to play, and it's just no. I mean, we knew it was coming and stuff, so we got to get our guys ready to go and against a really tough team.
Looking to Texas State, I think when you look at them, you look at Spavital's background, being with Dana and being with Kevin Sumlin, you think, okay, these guys are going to go 100 miles an hour and everything. But the interesting thing about it, I mean, they're only running like 60-some plays a game. You think that's kind of trying to take advantage of the personnel they have on defense?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I noticed that too, and I'm not sure, what their motivation is, but that could possibly be it, because, that maybe playing, to the what he thinks is the strength of their team, but I think they're doing good on offense. If you look at there's not any game they haven't moved the football. They're moving it and doing some stuff with it and stuff. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us defensively to play them.
Hey, on defense, Texas State, I think they have like 8 interceptions so far this year. What kind of defense are they running down there?
Well, they base it out of an odd front, and so we've seen that. It's kind of about, I don't know, halfway in between Iowa State and in South Alabama. When you look at it, they do a lot of similarities, I think, to Iowa State in a sense that they're not going to get caught in man for a lot of the game. I mean, I think they're going to, they like to play zone. They like to trap the zone, with their corners and stuff. But so I think that's pretty similar to Iowa State in the sense that, what they're doing on the back end, what they're doing on the line and everything in the linebackers is a little bit more similar to South Alabama.
Coach, looking at the importance of the run game, they've really struggled against the run this year, and you guys have been really good in the run. And then for your defense, have not given up as many big plays in the run game like you have the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with the second one for sure. That we can't. You have to try to limit I said that last week before we played Memphis. We have to eliminate the chunk plays. I mean, the big plays, which hopefully we can do that. I think if you go back and look at Texas State, and I mean every game counts, but the SMU game kind of really threw the numbers off, where it looks like they're very susceptible to the run because SMU had a great night that night running the football. Texas A&M kind of did too, but in some of those other games they didn't give up a whole lot, which so I kind of look at that really, to be honest with you, this time of the year, who they played, more than the numbers. I mean, last week we talked about it. Memphis was, I guess, one of the top teams in the nation in terms of pass defense, 103 yards a game. But you go back and look, they played Navy, they played South Alabama, they had played at the time predominantly run teams. So it's a lot of that I think depends on, especially early in the year, who you've played. So I think Texas State's really good against the run. They just got they gave up some yards in those 2 games.
Coach, you mentioned how odd it is to play a Thursday game, then an 8-17 kick. What do you do in terms of all day and kind of keep them focused?
Well, we're going to try to, about midday, get them out somewhere and move them around a little bit, and try to get them up and get them out of the hotel a little while and stuff. But other than that, we're going to stay on normal routine. But that's a little different for game day than what we normally do. So we'll try to get them out, like I said, just to kind of get them out of the hotel, move them around a little bit, have a little walkthrough, do something and stuff. So, but.
I guess it's a good problem to have, though. I mean, you get to be on TV again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's another chance to kind of get the brand out there. So
Absolutely, and I think our conference has done a fantastic job of that, about getting teams on TV, and this will be the 3rd straight week that we've been on, no, 2nd straight week that we've been on some form of ESPN or whatever. Plus, we played on Fox Sports Net, and stuff, and so ACC network we've already been on. So this will be the 4th time that we've actually played on a national TV network, and that's big for our program.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it,
Thank
guys.
you, Coach.